So I'm at the Web Summit here with Mike Bell from Intel. Mike, you're the go-to guy for all wearable technology at Intel. It's an exciting future, but it's a future that is not as obvious as we think. We're not thinking of Iron Man suits here. We're thinking things more comfortable and almost invisible.
Well, I think Iron Man suits would be pretty cool too, but I mean, the best technology really is often invisible. You know, people don't want necessarily to have something on their body that screams, "I'm a geek." It's personal. It's very much a reflection of how they want to be seen, and they want people to see them. And you know, I think from that perspective, it needs to be as fashionable as it is technologically enabled.
That was the interesting thing, because about a year ago, Intel really drew a line in the sand and said, "Look, this is where we're going with wearables." You got involved with various fashion brands and retail giants and stuff like that. How is that strategy going, and when are we already seeing the first results of Intel's fruits, or the first fruits of Intel's efforts?
Yeah, our key strategy really is to partner with people who are best at what they do in this field, because they know fashion, they know their customers, they know what looks good, and we know how to make it smart. So we've partnered with Opening Ceremony, a fantastic design firm in New York. We announced and showed the product at Fashion Week a few weeks ago. That was kind of wild, being at runway shows. I never thought as an engineer I'd do that. And then SMS Audio, of course, our partner with our smart biometric headphone earbuds. And then the last announcement I believe we made was with the Fossil Group, which is a watch manufacturer in the United States that not only makes their own Fossil branded watch, but also makes watches for Michael Kors or Monty Diesel. They own the majority of the watch market in the US.
And in terms of like the kind of things we'd be able to do with wearables, I mean, at the moment, obviously, fitness is the obvious thing. People are measuring their heart rates, their sleep patterns. But in the future, I mean, if we think about what can be done, display technology is integrated into it, digital tattoos, who knows? But the actual kind of future you foresee.
Well, I think smart garments can be interesting in terms of not only doing fitness, but I mean from a wellness perspective, helping with things like healthcare even. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big wow for each of these. I don't think the Swiss Army knife approach is necessarily the big one. Maybe if something does one thing really well, it could be really transformative. So, we're looking at ways you can embed technology into things that really improve what they already do, and add that extra feature that really just makes them, help you learn more about yourself or make it easier to do what you already do.
I always think the biggest clue is your phone, with all your gyroscopes and accelerometers and all these kind of things in it. All that technology is shrinking down, and what do you think entrepreneurs will be able to do with this stuff as it becomes more accessible and interesting to get, easier to get?
Well, it's a great question, and it's something we're actually trying to work with that community to help figure out. We've produced something called the Edison board, which is basically a dual-core computer with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, the size of a postage stamp. And the idea is to get it to the entrepreneurs and let them go wild with it and figure out things we could have never imagined. And the cool thing is, by building a board with hardware that's basically shipping quality and software, they're 80% of the way to market. They just add their own secret sauce on top. So we really want to play in this market, because I think the next big thing, rather than coming from a garage in Silicon Valley, may very well be one of these maker companies doing work in a kitchen or a basement or something like that.
And you brought some samples with you. Do you want to talk us through some of the technologies you have here?
Absolutely. Yeah. So these headphones are something we've done in partnership with SMS Audio. And the really cool thing about these is that, one, they look like regular headphones. There's nothing that kind of screams Uber headphones.
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't think there's anything in there.
Very non-threatening.
Yeah.
They have two things for your ears. They have something that plugs into your phone or whatever. Normal. Except the cool thing is, when you're exercising, this little sensor here also gives you your heart rate. Now, the obvious thing would be, we need power. Let's put batteries in. Let's put Bluetooth in. Let's make it crazy complicated. This is an example of how I feel technology has to be seamless and invisible. We figured out how to power this by just getting sort of parasitic power off the jack. So we did all this work to make this circuitry in here sip power. So we can actually essentially give you heart rate without any downside. There's nothing new to learn. I always joke, step one, throw away your old headphones. Step two, plug this in. Step three, you're done. And it's an example of how you can make things smart, but still make them completely approachable and seamless.
And the other thing there is a bracelet. I mean, that looks to me like just an ordinary bracelet. I don't know what it does.
Exactly. So we partnered with this great company called Opening Ceremony in New York, and they're a fashion house, and they build stuff like this. And we went to them and said, we want to build a smart wearable, but fashion, we don't. How about we work together? They're fantastic. So this is their design language, essentially. It's real material. It's snake skin. It's real gems. The shape, the size, the thickness is all dictated by fashion, not by technology. But this actually has a 3G radio inside. So the person wearing this wants to go out. They don't want to bring their 9-inch cell phone. By next year, cell phones I think will be 9 inches. They don't want to bring their cell phone with them. So you can wear this. I can't, but someone can wear this. And when they get social notifications or SMSs, they can discreetly flip the wrist over, look at the screen on the bottom, and turn it back over.
Nice.
So one, it looks like a great piece of jewelry regardless of the technology, and it's still smart, so you can do interesting things.
Nice.
And this also kind of meets one of my other criteria. Even if the battery's dead, it still looks good and you can still wear it.
Mike, thank you very much. That was super.
Thank you.
That was superb. Thank you very much.
Anytime.